Welcome to Pixel Academy Live. I'm your humble host, Will, and today with me is, as usual, Carissa on the demo, Simon behind the camera, and also Eric answering all your live questions right there in that little chat box. We have a short program for you today. We only have one topic, which is device protection. Hi, Carissa. What's up?
I have a question about my phone.
Okay.
Well, I reset my...
Our demo phone? Or...
Yeah,
Oh.
I reset my Pixel
Okay.
to give to my sister.
Okay.
Not our demo phone, this phone. And so I was going to give it to her. And now I'm stuck on this verify your account screen.
Interesting. Well, perfect timing. We're talking about device protection, and this is exactly what happens when device protection is triggered. First, let's talk about what device protection is. It was introduced with Android 5.1, and anytime when someone just say steals your phone, I'm very bad at it. That was not very smooth. And then they reset your phone and then resell it. With device protection, they will be on that verify your account screen, and they won't be able to get past it, and they won't be able to sell it. And this has significantly helped us to reduce theft. And that's why it was introduced. You say you reset it.
Mm-hmm.
How did you reset?
Well, I went and Googled it, and Google said to give me instructions to reset through something called recovery mode.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And recovery mode is one of the most common what we call untrusted resets. And then that's why you will be stuck on the screen.
All right, so I'm glad that I'm protected against theft and sticky hands like yours. But how can I fix it for my sister?
All you have to do is sign into the Google account that was on the device when reset happened.
Okay. Well, that's easy enough. My sister may want to regift it in the future.
Sure.
So how can I prevent that for her?
Sure. Always use the trusted way to reset your phone, and as you see on the screen, is do settings, backup and reset, and factory data reset. When you reset your phone using this what we call a trusted reset, then device protection will not be triggered.
All right, well, that's great. So you mentioned this trusted reset.
Mm-hmm.
I assume I did an untrusted reset.
Yes.
But are there other untrusted resets?
They are, indeed. So besides using recovery mode to reset your phone that's considered untrusted, there are a few other ways as well. Here are the handy list. The first one is Android Device Manager. When you use Android Device Manager, reset your phone, you will be considered also as untrusted reset. Or when you're flashing your phone using a computer or using what we call a flashing station to put a new ROM onto the phone, will also be considered untrusted. The very last one is dialer commands, where you type in a series of combo and reset the phone that way. It will also be untrusted.
Great. I will make sure to reset through the settings menu.
Mm-hmm.
What other recommendations do you have for people resetting their phones?
Sure. There will come a time where you do have to reset your phone as a troubleshooting method, or let's say you're just, like in your scenario, gifting it to someone else. Always use the trusted menu, which is the number one thing on our checklist. And there are a few other things as well, such as making sure you have access to your Google account, so you can have all your data or anything that's associated with a Google account. I always recommend people to check in to see if they can still have access to their password by signing in to their Google account on a different device, on a computer or on a different phone. The second is, before you reset your phone, always check backup options. Are the things important to you backed up, such as photos, music, contacts, so on and so forth. And last, and definitely not the least important, is again, to always reset through the settings menu is the only, as we consider, the trusted reset.
All right, that settings menu is super important. But would there be any times when it's not possible to reset through the settings menu?
Correct. There will be times you will actually have to use the untrusted reset. But before you do that, make sure you have access to your Google account. That still stands. But here are the few scenarios that's very common where untrusted reset will have to be done. The first one is when you have lost your phone. You want to protect your data on the phone, and therefore you use Android Device Manager to reset. Next few are more troubleshooting issues, and these are the three scenarios you'll use recovery mode to troubleshoot these popular issues. Number one is when your display becomes unresponsive. no matter how you touch or using a stylus, whatever you do, making sure the screen is still not responding to you, you'll use recovery mode. The second one is when you simply forgot your screen lock. Yeah, you wanted to add a new one and you turn around, brain fart, and you just forgot your screen lock, then you'll have to use recovery mode. The next one is when you're stuck on a boot loop. So for example, you boot it up, it gets to the lock screen, reboots itself, continuously keep doing that, then you'll use the recovery mode to reset your phone to get you back in again. But to wrap it up again, making sure you have your Google account credentials. Even if you use Untrusted Reset for any of those troubleshooting steps, you'll be able to get back in by signing into the Google account.
I guess that Google account is pretty important, huh?
That doesn't change, and now you can get your phone set up and ready for your sister, and off the camera you go. Let's do a very quick recap on device protection. What is device protection? Device protection was introduced in Android 5.1 in order to really help adding another layer of protection to people's phones, not just their data, but also the physical phone. It significantly reduces theft from people because now they will steal the phone, they reset it using Untrusted Reset, and they won't be able to get past the verify your account, and therefore they can resell the phone. So first, let's review a few things. What's the best way to reset your phone? First of all, let's run through the checklist. First one, make sure you have access to your Google account credentials. Making sure you have your password. You can do so by signing into your Google account on a different computer or on a different phone. Second, before reset, make sure your backup is ready to go. Do you have your photos? Do you have your music? Do you have your contacts, your game data, etc.? Things that are important to you all backed up. The third is to always use a trusted reset, which is to do reset, do settings menu. Go into system settings, backup and reset, and then select factory data reset. If you follow these three checklists, you will not run into device protection. But there are a few other ways of resetting that will put you into device protection. Here are the common ones. First is to use Android Device Manager to reset your phone. Second is using the recovery mode to reset your phone. The third one is using dialer commands. And the last one is to use a computer or flashing stations to put a new ROM onto your device. All of that will trigger device protection. Now let's talk about what happened if a device protection is triggered. All you have to do is to sign in to the Google account that was previously on the phone when reset happened, then you'll be able to get back in. Let's say you have forgotten your Google account credential and you went in and reset your password, you do have to wait for 24 hours before you can use the new password to sign into your device to continue setup. And then very lastly, let's talk about a few scenarios that you'll be forced to do an untrusted reset. The most common scenario is you lost your phone. In order to protect your data, you use Android Device Manager to reset your phone to protect your data. And the next ones are the troubleshooting steps. You'll use a recovery mode to reset your phone for these three common scenarios. The first one is when your screen has become unresponsive. The second is you've simply forgotten your screen lock. And the very last one is you're stuck on the boot loop. So it doesn't stop booting on its own, and all you can do is to go into recovery mode and to reset your phone. To troubleshoot these scenarios, you will do it, and all you have to do is sign in again using your Google account credentials. And that's device protection. Let's answer a few questions that we have from you. If you do a trusted reset, that does that mean you're able to change your original email that was linked with that device? Correct. Without device protection being triggered, you can sign in using any Google account that you have and starting using the device as a new one. Second question is, what if a customer forgets the email they use on the phone that was actually theirs? A good way to check is to sign in to Android Device Manager before you do a reset to see if that phone is indeed associated with that Google account. Let's say if the reset has happened, then you can also sign back into Android Device Manager as well to see if the phone is, again, associated with the Google account. And if you need some refresher on Android Device Manager, make sure you check out the playlist that we have because we did a whole session on it. That's it for today. Please remember to click like or subscribe below. Until next time, stay awesome.